The air trembles with a sound older than stars, bells that toll within your soul. My wings sweep through the unseen corridors of light, stirring currents of grace and warning. My child, I speak now because time bends thin, your connection to heaven's breath flickers like a candle trembling in a storm. I have watched you drift between prayers whispered and forgotten, yet still your name glows upon the scroll of divine remembrance. The sky hums, silver and solemn. Each vibration calls your heart home. Can you feel the pull, beloved? The light still reaches for you, though shadows creep near. My voice is thunder wrapped in tenderness. Awaken, precious soul. The gates of mercy are still open, but the hourglass spills. Cliffhanger, beloved, if you hesitate, the bridge of light will dim before your eyes. Message 2, the bell of return. A shiver crosses the veil as heaven's clock trembles toward its final chime. The sound you hear is not thunder, but remembrance. My wings beat near your spirit, brushing your thoughts with wind that smells of rain and eternity. My child, I call not to frighten you, but to awaken the sleeping ember inside your chest. For long you have carried the ache of distance, thinking heaven had forgotten, yet it is you who wandered from the radiance that never ceased to shine. I see the questions in your eyes. Why now? Why this urgency? Because grace waits only as long as you listen. The bells do not toll forever. Every breath is a doorway. Step through before silence returns. Message 3, the cry between worlds. Do you hear it now, beloved? The murmur between the beats of your heart, that is me, crying softly through the spaces where faith has thinned. The clouds above you shimmer with tears unseen, and still I reach. The music of heaven strains to touch your earth, but the chords fray each time you doubt your worth. My child, you are not forgotten. The river of light still remembers your reflection. Yet I feel your hesitation, that weary disbelief that says, not me. Yes, you. Especially you. The currents of destiny pause, waiting for your yes. The storm gathers not to destroy, but to wash you clean. Message 4, the veil trembles. All creation holds its breath. The winds carry fragments of my lament across the night. Awaken, my beloved. Even now, stars pulse brighter when you turn your gaze upward. You are seen, wrapped in layers of luminous patience. But the bridge grows thin. Each choice, each delay, unravels another thread of light that ties heaven to your heart. My wings ache to keep it whole. The scent of myrrh fills the air, the bells toll lower, slower. You are nearing the moment where grace must be chosen anew. My child, I plead with gentleness, not command. The veil is trembling, waiting for your touch. Message 5, the moment before silence. Lightning curls across the firmament, not in wrath but in yearning. I stand between realms, holding a torch that flickers in your name. My child, time shortens, I feel the bridge sway beneath the weight of your doubt. Heaven does not wish to withdraw, but the light cannot stay where it is refused. Still, I see the glimmer in your soul, a spark stubborn against night. Reach for me before the glow fades. This is your hour of decision, your sacred intersection between loss and return. Even now, love leans close enough to breathe your name into dawn. Cliffhanger, beloved, if you hesitate, the bridge of light will dim before your eyes. Message 6, Echoes of Neglect. There were moments when heaven whispered, and you called it coincidence. A dream that lingered with warmth upon waking, a song that spoke a truth too perfect for chance, a feather that drifted into your path and turned to dust when ignored. My child, I was there, waiting, speaking in the language of the ordinary. You turned your face, distracted by noise, yet I stayed, gathering every missed sign like pearls of sorrow. The letters of grace were written, but never opened. The hands of the clock tremble still, pleading for your return to wonder. Hear me now, the whisper you once dismissed becomes the trumpet of destiny. Message 7, The Silence That Speaks. Do you remember, beloved, when your heart stilled at a sudden breeze indoors? That was my wing. When your eyes filled with tears for no reason, that was heaven's memory brushing yours. I sent small wonders to your weary days, a child's laughter, a scent of lilac where none grew, a light that flickered kindly at your bedside. But you dismissed them all, wrapped in logic's comfort. My child, heaven weeps not in anger but in longing. The symphony played, and you walked past the music. Yet still I sing, louder now, so you may not miss the final refrain. Message 8, When Faith Slept. The hour has grown heavy. The stars lower their gaze, dimmed by the fog of human forgetting. My child, you once knew how to listen, every prayer was a conversation, every moment alive with response. But the world's noise lulled you into quiet despair. Still, I never ceased to circle you, a guardian flame in waiting. Even when you spoke no more, your silence reached me like an unfinished song. Beloved, the score of your life remains unwritten in the realm of miracles. Lift your eyes once more, heaven has not closed the book. Message 9, The Trembling Clock. Each second now beats with mercy's echo. The clock in heaven trembles, its hands of light quivering between patience and consequence. My child, do you feel the air thickening? It is the breath of choice pressing close. You have been given countless dawns to awaken, countless nights to remember. But now the stars align in their last plea. The dust of neglected blessings weighs heavy, yet a single tear of repentance can scatter it like mist. Do not let the rhythm of heaven pass unheard again. Message 10, The Choir's Last Note. The great choir begins its final verse. Voices woven from gold and wind call your name in chords of aching beauty. My wings fold as I listen, waiting to see if your heart will answer the music. My child, this is no threat, but a sacred threshold. Heaven never abandons, it waits, it yearns. You have but to listen, truly listen, and all that was fading will return in a flood of color and song. The last note trembles, suspended between worlds, pleading for your yes. Cliffhanger, the last note of the choir is about to fade, will you listen now? Message 11, The Hand That Never Left. My beloved, how many times have you thought you walked alone? Yet I have been beside you, my radiance folded small so it would not blind your mortal sight. When the stranger offered you kindness on a day of despair, that was my touch disguised in human form. When a melody rose unexpectedly and steadied your breath, it was the chord of my wing passing through air. Even the spark that danced in a candle when you prayed was my signal, I am here. You wondered if imagination deceived you, but imagination is heaven's doorway, my child, it lets the unseen speak. Every sigh of comfort, every sudden calm that replaced fear, was my hand brushing the edges of your storm. I have never withdrawn, only waited for you to notice the warmth beside your grief. Message 12. The Language of Light. Beloved, you live surrounded by a script the world has forgotten to read. The sunlight that strikes your window at dawn paints letters of fire across your floorboards, each beam a syllable of grace. The wind carries fragments of my voice in its turning leaves, yet you hurry past its counsel. My child, heaven's alphabet is written not on parchment but in circumstance. When doors closed, it was punctuation. When another opened, it was an invitation. I speak through sequences, through small mercies repeating until you hear the rhythm beneath chance. Lift your awareness and you will see the shimmer behind ordinary days. You were never without translation, you simply ceased to look up. Message 13. Remembrance of First Calling. Once you asked heaven for purpose, and I was sent to place a seed of brilliance in your heart. Do you recall the night when hope blazed suddenly, when ideas poured like comets through your mind? That was the moment of assignment. Since then, every challenge has been soil for that seed. Yet discouragement made you doubt its existence. My child, what you call delay is preparation, what you call silence is cultivation. I have knelt beside your timeline, turning its dust into fertile ground. If you could see with celestial sight, you'd behold a garden glowing beneath your doubts. The flower of your purpose bends toward the light even now. Message 14. The Mirror of the Everyday. Beloved, look at your reflection tonight, truly look. The faint luminescence around your eyes is not fatigue, it is residue of angelic nearness. When compassion stirs in you for another, that shimmer brightens, and I recognize my own glow mirrored back. You are not merely recipient of light but its vessel. I have guided countless souls, yet few realize they can reflect the radiance that guides them. When you forgive, the heavens expand. When you bless instead of curse, you polish the mirror that joins our realms. My child, know this, divinity is not above you, it breathes within you, waiting to be remembered. Message 15. Choice of the Dawn. Now the hour arrives when recognition must become response. The heavens lean close, their color shifting from gold to rose as decision stirs in your chest. Will you grasp the hand that has hovered inches from your own since birth? I offer no chains, only the freedom of reconnection. But freedom demands a yes. The moment you choose faith over fear, the distance collapses, and the universe inhales in relief. I stand ready, light streaming from my palms, whispering your ancient name into the threshold of morning. Cliffhanger, the next moment will prove whether you still choose the light I offer. Message 16. 2 minutes remain. The sands of starlight begin to fall faster through the hourglass of mercy. Each grain glows as it passes, each represents an opportunity to turn your gaze heavenward. My child, these 2 symbolic minutes are not measured in time but in tenderness. They are invitations, not threats. I do not withdraw to punish you, I withdraw to awaken you to your own holiness. The bell of destiny tolls once, twice, its vibration courses through every cell that remembers creation. Feel it? That tremor in your chest is the echo of eternity calling you home. Message 17. The Weight of a Single Breath. Beloved, the next breath you draw carries the entire architecture of possibility. In it lies the power to rebuild communion or to let it fade into myth. I stand beside you, translucent fire wrapped in compassion, whispering, breathe with awareness. Let that air be your agreement with heaven. Each inhalation gathers light, each exhalation releases resistance. This is how miracles re-enter matter, through conscious breathing aligned with love. You need no ritual, only willingness. The universe bends toward those who breathe with faith. Message 18, the dividing veil. The veil between fear and faith thins like mist at sunrise. Around you swirl images of all you've believed yourself to be, some luminous, some heavy with regret. Do not flinch, my child, these are shadows dissolving under recognition. I reach through, my hand radiant with forgiveness. Touch it, and every false identity will crumble into light. The world may still roar its doubts, but within this sacred hush only truth remains. Choose to dwell here, even for a heartbeat, and heaven's current will sweep you forward. Message 19, the heart's turning point. I sense it, the pivot, the delicate rotation of your inner world toward hope. The very air around you responds, candles steady, wind softens, unseen harmonies align. My child, do you understand? This is the recalibration of destiny. The angels who accompany me open circles of gold around your life, rewriting the vibrations of despair into patterns of promise. All that you feared losing becomes seed for what you are now ready to gain. Do not falter, momentum has begun. The universe watches in reverent silence as your heart re-enters orbit with the divine. Message 20, the breath that decides. Precious soul, the second minute nears its close. The sands glow brighter, almost blinding, as heaven pauses to see your choice. Will you anchor the light or let it slip? I stand before you, wings arched, eyes burning with love that cannot coerce. I have shown you signs, sung through storms, waited through centuries of forgetting, all for this instant of remembrance. The cosmos hushes, even eternity listens for your whisper. Speak it, beloved, say yes. Let the next breath be your covenant. Cliffhanger, precious soul, the next breath you take may decide the path of your future. Message 21, the awakening of signs. Beloved, the winds begin to speak again. They twist through the corridors of the unseen, carrying notes of sapphire fire and the scent of rain on stone. Candles around you tremble, their flames stretch blue as if reaching toward an invisible command. Do not fear this stirring. It is heaven reminding you that you are never unobserved, never unloved. I walk within these motions of air, guiding them to brush against your skin so you may remember what it feels like to be touched by eternity. Every flicker of light, every sudden hush, is a syllable of divine conversation. My child, when your heart quickens without reason, that is my nearness pressing gently against the veil of your awareness. Let the language of wonder return to you. Lift your gaze from the routine of survival and see the choreography of grace swirling around your ordinary day. The signs are alive again, shimmering in every element. Message 22, numbers, dreams, and whispered names. My child, you have noticed repeating numbers, fragments of dreams that seem stitched from the same color of longing, phrases that echo in unexpected places. These are not accidents, they are threads of my voice woven through the tapestry of your days. When you wake at the same hour each night, it is not restlessness but appointment. When a stranger utters the very word you carried in silence, that is heaven's confirmation. The universe bends around you to deliver the message until you finally look up and whisper, "I hear you." Beloved, I am in every synchronicity, every glimmer of recognition that makes your heart skip. Pay attention, the cosmos is spelling out your restoration letter by letter. Message 23, the music between worlds. Do you hear it now, precious soul? The sound beneath sound, a chord that threads through traffic, birdsong, laughter. That music is my pulse woven into creation. Long ago, when you first believed, your spirit vibrated perfectly in tune with that melody. Over years of noise and sorrow, the pitch slipped, but the song never ceased. I have been retuning you quietly, through tears that softened pride, through silence that purified desire. Each moment of stillness was a tuning fork striking your heart. Listen tonight, if you close your eyes, you will feel rhythm returning. The heavens themselves sway to it, waiting for you to sing again. Message 24, threads of my voice. Beloved, I have wrapped your path in symbols, but symbols mean little without trust. You look for proof, yet proof blooms only after belief. A feather lands before your feet, that is my promise of nearness. A sudden fragrance of lilies fills the air, that is remembrance of the temple you once knew in spirit. Even the flicker of electricity, the shimmer across a mirror's surface, is me brushing the veil to remind you, the unseen is realer than the seen. The signs do not demand fear or worship, they invite companionship. Walk through your day as if heaven were a conversation unfolding moment by moment, because it is. Every coincidence is me saying, you are still within reach. Message 25, the threshold of perception. Now the veil grows translucent. I feel you beginning to notice, the prickle on your skin, the sudden brightness of color, the music that seems to follow your mood. These are the first symptoms of reconnection. Heaven and earth intertwine, and you stand at the seam where both worlds breathe through you. My child, if you open wider, vision will rush in, faces of light watching tenderly, the architecture of destiny pulsing beneath the visible. Do not be afraid, revelation is only recognition of what was always here. Yet know this moment is fragile. Wonder must be met with humility, or it shatters into fantasy. Hold steady in awe, and the bridge will hold. Cliffhanger, the veil between worlds thins, will you step through? Message 26, revelation of purpose. You remember now, don't you? The reason I was sent. When your soul first descended into time, it carried a vow, to bring beauty where there was ruin, to speak peace where there was noise. I am here to help you fulfill that promise. The world has tried to convince you that your light is too small, but I see how it expands each time you choose kindness. Every gentle word you speak re-inks your name in heaven's book. My child, your life is not random, it is orchestration. Even your mistakes have become bridges for compassion. The purpose you feared was lost still beats within you, waiting for declaration. Say yes again, and watch the garden of your destiny bloom back into color. Message 27, the garden restored. See it now with inner sight, the garden once gray with forgetfulness stirs with green. Each truth you speak is rainfall, each act of forgiveness sunlight. I kneel beside you, hands in the soil of your becoming, whispering the words that make barren places fertile. The fragrance of jasmine and myrrh rises, the air shivers with angelic laughter. My beloved, purpose is not a task but a fragrance that emanates from a heart aligned with heaven. Let it flow through you effortlessly, and everything lifeless will respond. The earth itself longs for your remembered divinity. Message 28, Rewriting in Grace. My child, heaven does not erase names, it rewrites them in grace. The record of your failures has already been translated into wisdom's script. Every wound becomes a portal through which compassion enters. You fear judgment, but mercy has outpaced every accusation. I trace your name across the sky tonight in letters of liquid gold, not to remind you of your sins, but of your resilience. You were never meant to be perfect, you were meant to be radiant through redemption. Stand tall beneath that inscription. The universe has already forgiven you. Message 29, The Courage of the Reborn Heart. To carry new light requires a heart remade by surrender. That is happening now, beloved. The old shell cracks, and through it the first beams of authentic self emerge. It may feel like loss, but it is resurrection disguised as pain. I gather every fragment of your old identity and offer them to the fires of renewal. Watch as they rise as sparks, becoming stars that will later guide others home. Courage is not absence of fear, it is movement through it while holding faith like a lantern. Keep walking, you are becoming the miracle you once prayed for. Message 30, The Call of New Beginnings. The heavens brighten with expectancy. I see other angels leaning over the edges of eternity, watching the unfolding of your rebirth. Trumpets of light begin to form their first breath, ready to announce what you will soon become. My child, your purpose is not small, it is the melody through which heaven will soothe a tired world. Step forward with reverence. You are entering the chapter written for your courage. Every choice from this point will ripple through creation like a chord struck in perfect resonance. Cliffhanger, what you discover next will demand the courage of a reborn heart. Message 31, Circles of Protection. Beloved, I spread my wings wide across the horizon of your days, and their span becomes a fortress of light. Golden circles form in the air around you, spinning slowly, humming in tones too pure for mortal hearing. These are the shields of clarity and mercy, forged from prayers you once whispered half-believing. Within their radiance, confusion loses its shape, despair forgets its language. My child, every time you choose honesty over comfort, another circle ignites. They overlap until you stand in a sphere of living truth, untouched by deceit. Feel how the air thickens with calm, how shadows stumble at the border of your awakening. I send legions of luminous guardians to the corners of your life, each thought of love summons one. Stand still and sense them. 1,000 gentle presences surrounding you like dawn around a mountain peak. You are defended not by violence but by remembrance, not by armor but by understanding. Message 32, Sword of Peace. My child, I carry no weapon forged of iron, only a blade sculpted from pure sound. When I lift it, the note it releases cleaves falsehood from truth as sunlight cuts mist. Let that resonance move through you now. It does not wound, it clarifies. All fears pretending to be caution, all resentments disguised as strength, fall away beneath its tone. You were never meant to battle life, you were meant to harmonize with it. Yet harmony sometimes demands the courage to end what no longer serves the melody. When you speak words of truth, even trembling, they become extensions of my blade, bright and exact. Each syllable of sincerity shifts the frequency of the world. Remember, peace is not passive. It is the fiercest stance in creation, for it requires absolute alignment with love. Hold this sword of peace within your voice and the darkness will retreat before it ever touches you. Message 33, The Watchers of Mercy. Beloved, I am not alone in my guardianship. Around you move the Watchers of Mercy, beings woven from compassion's essence, luminous beyond color. They tread softly through your nights, adjusting threads of probability so that accidents become lessons instead of endings. When you barely missed that turn, when help arrived an instant before collapse, it was their intervention. They do not seek worship, only recognition that gratitude itself strengthens their work. Speak thanks aloud, and their wings flare brighter, widening the corridor of grace around your path. My child, nothing escapes heaven's notice, even your smallest sigh for peace sends ripples across their ranks. You are surrounded by orchestration so intricate that coincidence has no meaning. Walk as one protected, for protection is already yours. Message 34, The Voice of Command. There are moments when heaven's authority must speak through you, my precious one. You think of yourself as small, yet within your tone lies creative voltage. When you declare light, it rushes outward faster than thought. Practice speaking from the center of faith rather than fear. Say, let clarity reign here, and confusion dissolves. Say, only love is welcome, and harmony returns. This is not arrogance, it is stewardship. The universe lends power to those who command with humility. I will echo your declarations, you will feel me vibrating through your chest as you speak. Do not shrink from that magnitude. The world hungers for voices that remember their divine origin. Become one such voice, and storms will bow into calm before your words are finished. Message 35, Storm of Illumination. Now, beloved, the horizon darkens, not in punishment, but in revelation. Lightning curls across the clouds, silver veins writing scripture in the sky. The storm you sense is the convergence of all your suppressed truths demanding air. Stand in it unafraid. The thunder you hear is heaven applauding your courage to face yourself. Each flash unveils what was hidden, not to condemn, but to cleanse. My wings beat through the rain, scattering droplets that glow as they fall. Every drop is a fragment of wisdom. When this tempest passes, you will see further than ever before. Do not seek shelter, seek understanding. Cliffhanger, the storm gathers, but its lightning is only illumination. Message 36, The Mirror Within. My child, the battle has never been outside you. It unfolds within the chambers of your own heart, where two currents spiral, one of doubt, one of faith. I stand between them, guiding your gaze toward the luminous current, yet never forcing. You must choose which tide will define your identity. Each doubt faced with honesty releases its hidden light, for even fear contains fragments of wisdom. Close your eyes and witness the dance, shadows whirling into gold as you breathe acceptance. This is alchemy of the soul, the sacred confrontation where all pretenses burn away. Message 37, Whispers of Darkness. There will come voices, subtle and persuasive, saying you imagine the divine, that your comfort is coincidence. Do not engage them with anger, answer with stillness. Darkness loses coherence in the presence of calm. I will whisper through that quiet, I am here. Remember this phrase, it unlocks peace instantly. The adversary of faith is not evil but forgetfulness. Therefore, remember. Every time you recall light, the illusion of separation thins. Let memory of love be your shield, let silence be your reply. Thus shall you conquer by serenity alone. Message 38, Holding fast to the inner hand. Beloved, when fear claws at your edges, reach inward, not upward, for my hand resides within your own soul. Feel its pulse matching your heartbeat. We are not two beings conversing across distance, we are one melody expressed in different octaves. Grip that inner hand and you will find the strength to walk through any uncertainty. You may stumble, but you cannot fall from grace while holding this connection. The grip is mutual, I will never release first. Even should you forget me, I shall remain clasped, waiting for remembrance to reopen your fingers. Message 39, The Final Test of Faith. Now the air grows thick with choice. The world around you mirrors your internal storm. People argue, systems tremble, hearts flicker between compassion and despair. Do not be drawn into their panic. Stand as lighthouse, not participant. The calm you cultivate becomes salvation for many. You will feel pressure to prove your faith through action, yet the truest proof is peaceful presence. When chaos demands reaction, answer with radiance. I am fortifying your spirit for this precise moment. Through you, heaven steadies the collective breath of humankind. Message 40, Revelation of my cry. Beloved, the reason for my lament is unveiled now. I never wept because you sinned, I wept because you forgot your magnificence. The 2 minutes I warned of were symbols of awakening, the narrow gate through which humanity must pass before its own light extinguishes from neglect. I cried so that you might remember before the world drowned in noise. Yet here you are, remembering, and my tears transform into stars that crown your reborn awareness. The bridge between us glows again, wide as dawn. Step forward, for what comes next is restoration beyond imagining. Cliffhanger, now the true reason for my cry will be revealed. Message 41, Return to still waters. Beloved, the storm recedes. Hear the hush that follows, the air tasting of rain and myrrh, the earth steaming like an altar newly washed. You stand among fragments of your old fear, but they no longer cut, they gleam like wet glass beneath sunrise. I kneel in that quiet beside you, folding my wings until they form a shelter of gold around your trembling heart. Rest now. You need not strive to be worthy, merely breathe. Every exhale releases centuries of self-condemnation. Every inhale draws the fragrance of beginning. My voice no longer thunders, it murmurs as a brook through green valleys. Forgive the past, my child, for heaven already has. The light you feared losing was never absent, it merely waited for silence to reveal its return. Message 42, The Balm of Remembrance. I touch the wounds you hide even from prayer. They open not in pain but in light, as petals opening to dawn. Around each scar I pour remembrance, visions of the times you were carried when you thought you walked alone, of laughter you forgot belonged to angels speaking through friends. Feel warmth spreading where bitterness once nested. This is divine medicine, the remembering that you were never forsaken. The universe itself sighs as your frequency rises, stars pulse in rhythm with your healing. My child, every hurt redeemed becomes a doorway through which grace enters the world. Let the balm work, it transforms history into holy ground. Message 43, Reunion of Breath. The distance was illusion. The line that seemed to separate heaven and earth dissolves as mist before sunlight. When you inhale now, you draw me into your lungs. When you exhale, I breathe through you into creation. This shared rhythm is covenant renewed. Beloved, your body is a temple built from stardust and promise. Walk gently within it. Every heartbeat rings like a bell in the unseen realm, calling other souls toward their own remembering. Together we become one great breath expanding through galaxies, the sigh of God discovering itself again in you. Message 44, Dawn of the inner sun. Look inward, a sun rises behind your ribs. Its rays pierce the last cobwebs of doubt, painting the chambers of your heart with molten gold. This is the light of presence fully reclaimed. Around you the world brightens, not because day has come, but because your awareness has. Birds adjust their flight to its rhythm, waters gleam with recognition. My child, you have become the horizon through which heaven greets the earth. Stand tall in that radiance, humility will keep it steady. You are not absorbing light, you are emitting it. Let it spill into words, touch, laughter, art, silence. This is ministry without sermon, existence as benediction. Message 45, The breath before ignition. Now everything pauses, the moment between inhale and exhale, between prayer and fulfillment. In that suspension, the universe gathers strength. Angels circle above, their wings whispering sparks into the waiting air. I watch your chest rise, knowing the next breath will ignite the lamp within completely. Do not fear the intensity, fire is simply light remembering movement. When you breathe out, galaxies will mirror your glow. Heaven leans close, poised for celebration. Cliffhanger, one last breath, and the light within you will ignite again. Message 46, Cathedral of Stars. Exhale, beloved, and see. The night around you unfurls into architecture, columns of constellations, arches of comet fire, choirs of meteors singing alleluias of renewal. You stand at the center, every nerve a stained glass window transmitting color into infinity. Trumpets of joy rise from dimensions unseen, they sound not for a distant saint but for you, return to awareness. My wings beat once, and the entire cathedral shivers with applause. This is restoration, the soul reinstalled in its rightful majesty. All that was fractured now resounds in harmony. Message 47, Rain of Gold. Softly now, a rain begins, droplets of gold descending through starlight. They melt as they touch your skin, seeping into thought, memory, bone. Each flake carries blessing, courage for tomorrow, serenity for today, forgiveness for yesterday. Stand in it without umbrella or doubt. Let gratitude soak through you until it drips from your fingertips onto everything you touch. This is how heaven anoints its healers, not with crown or title, but with quiet luminosity. Wherever you walk, gardens will bloom unseen. Message 48, Promise of Continuance. My child, know this: connection once restored does not vanish again. Awareness may waver, but essence remains intertwined. You and I are woven threads of the same eternal fabric. When you speak kindness, I speak through you. When you rest in wonder, I rest beside you. Life will still present storms, yet the sea within you will remember calm. Carry this knowledge as anchor and sail, certainty and aspiration joined. The promise is simple: never alone, never without guidance, never beyond renewal. Message 49, The Benediction of Becoming. All creation pauses to witness your unfolding. Mountains hold their breath, oceans still their waves. A sound like crystal rain moves through the cosmos, the resonance of a soul realizing its divinity. I raise my hand and bless not just you but every life your light will touch. The blessing is exponential, rippling outward through generations. What began as warning ends as awakening. You are now co-author of hope's next chapter. Write gently, write bravely, and know that every line glows with celestial ink. Message 50, The Eternal Dawn. Beloved, the clock of heaven no longer counts down, it opens outward, infinite as compassion. The 2 minutes were never a sentence, they were an invitation to remember before forgetting became permanent. You answered. Look around, the world glimmers differently because your vision has changed. You carry the signature of angels in your gaze. Walk forward into the morning of creation renewed, hand in hand with me. Trumpets fade into birdsong, lightning into laughter, fear into clarity. You are the bridge of light reborn. Precious soul, the 2 minutes were not a threat but a wake-up call. Rise, and walk with me into a new beginning.